you basically offer to swap out the actual batteries to make charging that much swifter and cleaner. But, John, you've made real inroads into building in America. How is this going to backfire for you with tariffs?
So as you look at the tariffs, there are actually three things that you need to look at. One is where do you go through and produce it, where are your factories? The second thing is where do you get your materials from? And the third is what you do to finish goods. So I think we were ahead of the curve. We do all of our production in the US, in California. We have our factories there. The two other parts, though, one is where do you get the goods? When you don't have the capacity or you don't have the necessary skill set domestically to go through and form it, you buy those things from abroad. So the tariffs for us, that means everything we bring into this country, we need to go pay tariffs on it because we're doing all our production in the US. The last part of it is once you produce it, we export, and export helps our trade surplus. But I think part of the tariffs has this new provision where it takes back duty drawbacks. Duty drawbacks is you get your tariffs back. So you pay the tariffs when you bring it in, but when you export it, you get it back. If you take that back, or if you take it away, it makes your goods exceedingly expensive and uncompetitive. So I think as we think about the full cycle, it's important to look at all three components. We are doing all the production in the US, but the tariffs hit us on two parts, the stuff that we buy in, and then when we send stuff off, we don't get any of those tariffs back.
How hard does this make your decision-making, this uncertainty?
I think there are three things, and I think what COVID showed us is that the full supply chain is very complicated. So the three things that I think make it difficult is, one is the number of different tariffs that are coming out there. They're also complicated. Second is the speed at which they come out and change, and I think the third is the speed at which they're implemented. So supply chains have a very long life cycle, so it's hard to go through and change it quickly. So I think where the difficulty comes when you put those together, we try to make long-term decisions on our supply chain, but with the speed at which they come out, change, and then you don't have the time to react, it puts a lot of stress, especially on smaller companies. And I feel that what we should do is help the smaller companies through this, because it's what the US is known for, the innovation, the stuff we create, and I think it's exceedingly burdensome for small companies like ours.
John, briefly, will the longer-term impact be for you to make even more in the US? Do you have optimism that you'll be able to get the skilled labour, you'll be able to get, well, some of the rare earth minerals you need right here in the US, or you're always going to be exposed? Briefly, 30 seconds.
So I believe that we can produce in the US, but we need the time to be able to do it. So given enough time, I think we can keep on bringing it here. But if you do it very quickly, many companies will not survive that time to be able to do it. So I think we just need to have a partnership with the government to make sure that we're working in concert, to make sure we can get to goals, which I think the goals are really important, to produce in the US and increase our exports.